Welcome back to another episode of Frank's Unsolicited Advice, and this is another edition of What Burns My Biscuits. Okay, and for you who have not listened to my episode before or listened to me at all, burns my biscuits is stuff that happens that upset me or bother me. Okay, and it allows me to go on a rant for some reason or other. And today's episode of What Burns My Biscuits, it's when people, to make themselves feel better or to make themselves look good or to give out the impression that without them things don't operate the same, always try to downplay a progress, a job, or things that are done. I'll give you an example. Oh, well, since I was gone, nothing's got done. Since I've been gone, this has gone to hell in a handbasket. And the reason that upsets me, right, is because if you say that, if that's going to be your premise to give yourself a valid existence in life, then you need to make sure that while you were in the presence, everything got done and there was nothing missed. And that, everything was operating at 100% and it was stellar. You were committed to excellence and a fair treatment of all, that everything you produced was inspection ready and ready to go. And and I have a problem with that because nobody can say that. Okay. And there's nobody alive that can say, every time I do something, I do it 100% perfect, never wrong. I didn't miss a corner. I didn't cut it short. I didn't do anything because I'm that great, because nobody's perfect. So therefore, for anybody that wants to say that, you're full of crap. So don't come and don't be one of those people that want to destroy what other people have done when we can poke holes into your stories, into your production, into your life, and start deflating the air out your head a little bit so you can come back to reality. Because guess what? Nobody's perfect, right? Hate those people that try to take credit for stuff just because they got to make themselves feel good. Now, whether you're trying to get a rise of somebody or you want somebody to feel some kind of way, okay, that's fine, But don't sit there and try to discount or discredit the work that other people have done or what other people do just because you weren't involved in it or because somebody else did it better than you, Like those people that try to take credit for somebody doing great, but they didn't put an ounce of work into making them better as a person, as a worker, as a student, as a son, as a daughter, as a family member, nothing. They didn't do anything to help them out, but they want to take credit. Like the absentee father that sits in the back of when the kids graduated from high school or college. It's like, that's my boy, that's my girl. But you weren't present at all to help that kid get to where he got to. But yet because he's your child, you're taking credit for it, or she's your child, you're taking credit for it. That's the type of stuff I'm talking about, criticizing what other people do because maybe things got done without you and it got better. Have you ever thought about that? Maybe your life, and you need to find some existence. Maybe you need to look in the mirror and tell yourself something to make yourself feel better. But don't sit there and make it seem as if nothing was getting done because you weren't around. Trying to always find that pat on the back, make people feel bad. Like, hey, you guys suck. I have a problem with that. That burns my biscuits. That really does. Because, as a people, as humans, we should work together, And you're always going to have those people that want the sunshine, that want the spotlight, that want the me, look at me. But what did you do to get there? And I've seen it more at work than anything, in my time working. And I'm pretty sure anybody else has worked. It's one of those people that, they come up with an idea and the idea works out. Oh, it was my idea. But never mind that you didn't do a thing to make it work. You just brought up the idea and everybody else did it. But you want to take credit because you mentioned it. Or the people that throw stones and criticize other people's work or character or moral compass. But yet they're the ones, at the strip club on Saturday night, but at church first thing Sunday morning with the mark on their hand because they're old enough to drink, I ain't been to a strip club in a while, but, I've been to a few in my time. I hate, that's what burns my biscuits, is when people do that. When you got to sit there and crap on others because you want to make yourself look good. Because you got to give yourself something to be in existence for, other than the fact that you woke up that morning and you were blessed by the good Lord to wake up. You have to do that. And that's what really bothers me. Because when you do that, when we do that, when people do that, you discredit the work that other people have done. You minimize everybody else because you're trying to make yourself look like a giant when you're really not. That's what burns my biscuits. It does. And it's a flaw. You know, I tell my daughter all the time, there's some people that you can just, you know, they talk all this crap and then you could punch them in the face and break their jaw. And guess what? Since they can't talk, they're writing it on paper or they texting you, telling you how much you suck. You know what I'm saying? They're going to keep talking crap because that's what they are. That's their nature. I don't curse. I'm trying not to curse on these podcasts. So they, you know, they're crap talkers. You know what I'm saying? They're BSs. They're BSers, I should say. And they get away with it because honestly, the mature thing is not to even engage. Because if you know what you've done, then ain't no point in proving to nobody else. But that's just how some people are, and it burns my biscuits. It does. It gets me on a whole nother level. Because that's when people think that they're better than what they are. It goes back to that episode I just did, Live Your Truth. And that you're not living your truth when you try to be something you're not. Like, yo, my man, you're not that nice. Fam, sit down. Have a seat. Have several seats, like my wife used to say. You know what I mean? Have a Coke. You're going to be here for a while. Grab a Snickers. You know? You're not that nice, fam. Relax. You got to relax. You can't keep doing that. You know, and it bothers me because that's how people live a lie. That's how people aren't truthful with themselves. That's how people sit there and you know, fake the funk. Fake it till you make it by putting everybody else down. If I didn't take credit for something, if I didn't do it, I didn't take credit for it. You know what I'm saying? That's just not going to happen. If I didn't lead them people to do it, then I'm not taking credit for it. You know, when we bought our first house, my wife did the floors. I couldn't lay the laminate. I couldn't figure it the hell out. It was frustrating. She did it. She was pregnant. She did it with a homegirl. And, you know, to this day, she'll bring it up. I'm the one that laid the floor, right? And, you know, she does it jokingly, you know, and I don't take it personal. At once I did. At one point I did. But then, you know, I was like, you know what? Let her live. That's her victory. I'm not going to say I did it because I didn't. That was her. But guess what I did do? I laid the deck over here in this new house. I did it. But what I'm saying is it would be unfair for me to sit there and be like, well, I bought the materials, so because of me it happened. No. Yo, give people their props. Why not big up people? Why not lift people up? Why do we have to sit there and minimize what other people do because we didn't have a thing to do with it? We didn't have a claim in it. We didn't do anything with it. All we did was, oh, well, I've been gone. This went to hell. It's crappy. The work production sucks. In my absence, we went from a tier 1 company to bottom of the barrel. We went from a conglomerate. We went from the Tesla of electric cars to a battery operated company. You know what I'm saying? We went from the tip of the spear to hot basura. And did we? And that's the thing, that when you sit there and you want to proclaim certain things, you have to understand that other people are going to be seeing what you're saying. And people take notes, because when you sit there and proclaim to be something that you're not, you tend to leave yourself open to somebody to keep a tick, tack, a tick, tick, tick. Oh, he stopped. That's an X. Okay, he's back on it. Tick, 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 tick. X, because he messed up. And that's when people come for your neck. That's when people come for your head. That's when people are trying to make you look bad, because the whole time you sat there and went out your way to try to make other people look bad. As if without your existence, the world would stop. That's not how it works. You know, I hate that. That burns my biscuits. That really does. It does. And it's not because of me. I know my worth. I know what I do. I know what I don't do. I know what I've done, and I know what I haven't done. And I'm never going to be one of these people that's going to sit here and say, yo, I'm the greatest thing since blah, blah, blah. No. I live my truth. Now, there's some things that I'm good at, that I'm naturally good at, that I will sit there and say, yeah, I think so. But I save it for that moment, because I know that that's what I'm good at. But even then, I'm going to let you think what you want. Because, what if I fail that day? What if I'm not the best me that day? And now you saw that I couldn't do it. Now you can talk crap to me, right? Now I'm the guy I'm talking about right now in my episode, Burn My Biscuits, like the boxers. Oh, I've been training 8 months in the gym, running 10 miles a night. I'm going to go in there and knock this dude out. and then you get your block knocked off after the whole 3 months of the tour that you've been advertising the last 6 weeks. You know, you're in there, you at the weigh-ins and your drawers talking mad crap, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna knock your head off, and then you get in the ring and get pummeled. And now you got to get in front of the thing with your eyes swollen with the shades on. You know how the boxers do, the shades on. And they're like, oh, I just had an off day. I thought we had a good training camp. I wasn't focused. The whole time before the fight, you didn't have not one family problem. There was nothing going on. You was in top tip shape. You was in the best shape of your life. You were at the tip of the spear when it came down to the spear. You was in the best shape. You was a Greek god of shape. Skill. You was ready. Then you get knocked out. And yet at the end of the fight, you're like, well, my mom had COVID. You know what I'm saying? My sister, my kid was sick. The night before, I had to be in the hospital. I didn't get a good night's sleep. I didn't do my part. I respect those people that go out there and say, you know what? He was just a better fighter today, or she was a better fighter today. I didn't do what I needed to do. I hate when you discredit what somebody else does. And I've done it. I'm not going to lie. I've done it. I've done it. Like this last Super Bowl. I sometimes say, well, the 49ers should have won, and they lost the game because Patrick Mahomes had the worst game of his career. So I discredit what he did. I'm discrediting the fact that he came back from a double-digit deficit to take the lead and win the game. Whether or not the 49ers should have kept running the ball, whether or not, it doesn't matter. He had the perseverance to do that. So why am I minimizing his greatness in that game when he did what he had to do? Because I'm hating. You know what I'm saying? It's plain and simple. And that's what I'm trying to get at. That burns my biscuits when people do that. But you see, talking about a football game, what I say doesn't affect Patrick Mahomes or Jimmy G. And what they do doesn't affect me. Because guess what? If I can't pay my mortgage, Jimmy G, Patrick Mahomes, Russell Wilson, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, what's my man down in Drew Brees, Matt Ryan, Sam Darnold, Jones. Them cats ain't coming to my house to pay my mortgage. So that doesn't matter. But when you affect what people do because you're trying to minimize what they do at work in real life, you know what I'm saying? Where people are evaluating, that burns my biscuits because you're impacting somebody's food. You're impacting somebody's well-being. You're knocking down what somebody did just because you mad that the world continued to go on without you. That really burned my biscuits. That upsets me. It does. It really does. But what are you going to do? What can you do? Just keep pushing. Keep doing what you got to do. Let people be who they're going to be. And, keep pushing and forget it and laugh at them people. Because, people like that, they'll be who they're going to be. They're always going to be who they're going to be. It doesn't change. Guarantee it. I know for a fact. So that was my edition of Burn My Biscuits, my second edition. And again, for you that got lost in the whole rant, is pretty much people that sit there and want to knock people down because they want to make themselves feel good. So thank you for listening. Another episode of Frank's Unsolicited Advice and the second episode of Burn My Biscuits.